So before I get into the topic of this commentary, I kind of want to talk a little bit about this gameplay. I mean, this is me playing on an alt account. I'm just playing with Lateralis, who I play with her quite a bit. And we run into Toucan's party. It's just me and her, party of two versus Toucan's full party. And Toucan was a fairly decent player in Uncharted 2. He played quite a bit, as some of you may or may not know. And we managed to pull an upset and beat this full party. Like, we literally win by like 1 point. It was a really close match, and it was really exciting. And I really enjoyed playing this match, and looking back at it, I still like enjoy watching like how I managed to pull this victory off, because it was really close. It was really fun. And this gameplay directly relates to the topic, which is the parties versus solo play. And I mean, when it comes to playing in a party, most people are going to be like, oh, well, what could possibly be the advantage of playing with solo play? I mean, when you're playing in a party, you have people having your back, you have people you can talk to, maybe friends. You don't have to deal with the idiot randoms who might screw you over and go ultra negative or just be useless. And I mean, these are blatantly obvious things when it comes to playing in a party. I mean, yeah, most of you know this, but I mean, there are some cons to playing in parties that might not be immediate from like your first impression or first thoughts. And there are some positive things about playing with just by yourself, just taking your chances with randoms. And I mean, when it comes to the cons of playing in a party, when you play in a party, you kind of usually, like, let's say you play with a group of people frequently, and you kind of get used to playing with them and how they play, and you're used to the communication and how you guys play like a mode or a map or whatever. You get very accustomed to this. You get comfortable, and I think as a player, I don't think you should ever really get really comfortable, because I mean, it doesn't make sense initially, because when you think of it, being comfortable with a group of people is a very good thing, because when you get comfortable with people you play with a lot, this can lead to a very good team in the future, good chemistry, good friends or whatever. I mean, it is a lot of positive things to be said about getting comfortable, but they can be a detriment to you as a player individually when you get comfortable playing with certain people, because when you're not playing with these people, you might find that you're not as good, or you are so dependent on these people that you can't really like play with other people anymore, or the way you played with these people kind of directly influenced how you played, and now that you're not with them, you can't really do what you want to do, or you can't do as well as you normally do, let's say, with playing with the other people. And I mean, as a player, I think it's important for you to just kind of be flexible and not always be super dependent on your team. Because I mean, I've put a lot of emphasis on, like, it's not about like the individual skill of a player, it's about the team. But you should never neglect you yourself as a player, and expanding how effective you are, what you can do, your tool set. I mean, maybe you're a very aggressive rusher, but when it comes to sitting still and kind of locking in an area, you're not really comfortable. You can't really just sit there. And I don't think that's a good thing. You should be able to, when the time comes, rotate what you need to do, or be flexible and step up when you have to, because this might come down the road where you have to do something you're not used to. And this is also something that's true for real life, of course. I mean, having a multifaceted skill is of benefit to you. It doesn't hurt you to be good in many various things. But when it comes to playing by yourself, I mean, one kind of obvious thing when it comes to playing by yourself that's an advantage is you tend to get more kills than when you would in a party, because let's say you're in a pretty good party of good players. I mean, you might not get as many kills as you would normally, because I mean, they might be stealing your kills or whatever, so you might get a lot of assists, or maybe everyone's just kind of getting an even amount of kills because everyone's evenly matched as a player. And this is perfectly normal, but when you're playing by yourself, you get a mixed bag of people. Some people might not be retarded, some people are hopeless and they can't even get one kill. And I mean, if you're a pretty consistent player, you're probably going to get more kills than like most people, because you know how to play, more or less. And some of these people you might get stuck with and might not know how to play at all, or might just be singing in the corner, dancing or something ridiculous. And that's one positive thing when it comes to playing by yourself. You're probably going to get more kills. And I mean, there's definitely a lot of cons. I mean, you're going to get a bunch of random idiots who might not help you at all. You might not get this case, but there is a lot of negative things right off the bat when it comes to playing by yourself. But some of the positive things you might not immediately apparent. For example, when you play by yourself, you kind of just get the luck of the draw, what you're playing with, and as a player, you might have to like step up and do things you're not normally comfortable with. And I think that can definitely help you as a player, because I mean, getting out of your comfort zone can definitely help you out. I mean, when you get so used to playing with X or Y people, and then you're not playing with them, like I said, you might not do as well as you did before, but if you're used to playing with just about anyone, just random idiots with varying degrees of skill, you're flexible. You know how to cope. You know how to deal with the idiots. Maybe you're gonna bait the randoms or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just what really matters is you as a player can adapt and aren't necessarily limited to just playing with X or Y people, basically. And I think this is good because as a player, I think if you want to improve, you definitely have to get out of your comfort zone. You can't just get into this routine of doing the same thing over and over again. I think it is good to break the mold and try different things, and that might require you to take some risks and play by yourself and see what happens. Because you might find out that you're not really capable of playing by yourself without these people, or your playstyle super dependent on X or Y player. And I mean, that isn't necessarily a blatantly bad thing overall, but I think as an individual, you definitely want to be flexible and keep an open mind when it comes to what you can do, what you can improve upon, etc., etc. And I think another good thing that might not be immediately apparent is it's definitely a little bit more satisfying when you run into a group of people. Let's say you're outnumbered, it's by yourself, or you're in a small party of two, and you overcome the odds and you beat this like full party or team, or whatever. It's definitely really satisfying. I mean, even if you don't win, like for example, if I had won this match, I still would have saved it. I still would have enjoyed it because I mean it was a really close match, and I definitely fought for what the results were. I definitely fought for my place and what happened in this match. And I mean, there's another match where I played against IME21, who's another Uncharted 2 player who played quite a bit, and I ran into him on this account and I lost, and I might upload it where like I lost by like 2 points. It was literally just me by myself. Blatantly was there with me, and I barely lost, but I mean, I still enjoyed the match. It was really close, and that's right there. I just want to point out that Toucan really lag killed him with his foul right there. It was pretty much like a shotgun foul, but I mean, even if I had lost this match or any other close match, it was a close match and I put a good effort into it, and it was exciting, and it was just a fun match to play. Even if I had won or lost, regardless of the result, it was very fun. It was very satisfying. And you don't really always get that when playing in a party, because when you play in a party, I mean, you might run into another party that might not be completely brain dead, and it'll be fun when your team overcomes the other team and X or Y happens after, like during the lobby. But it's definitely, I feel a lot more satisfaction when it's just me, like against like a larger group of people, or against the odds I managed to pull a win. And I mean, there are some things I might have to do. I mean, I might have to be more aggressive. I might have to do X or Y. I mean, people are really quick to complain. I mean, for example, this party is using negative boosters, and right here I kind of use that to my advantage quite a bit. I kind of just switch out to my pistol and blind fire, fist this guy. I mean, you might argue, oh, they were using negatives and you weren't, but I mean, they were in a full party, they had communication, and it was literally just me and Lateralis, and there was just us two trying to beat this full team who were playing together, and they had a kind of a big advantage. Even the numbers game itself, it's just 5v2, that is an advantage in and of itself, a pretty large one at that, regardless if they had negative boosters. I mean, when it comes to this match in particular, I mean, I might have to pull some things that I normally don't have to do. For example, I am far more aggressive in this match than, let's say, I normally might have been. Like, let's say if I had been in a party and I ran to this party, I might not have had to have been so aggressive because, I don't know, I had teammates who could be more competent and not die as much as, like, these randoms. I mean, I just noticed right now, I'm even short-handed overall with randoms. It's actually a 4v5, but I mean, the other two teammates I had were completely useless and were just dying over and over again, and I still managed to pull the upset, and it was very satisfying to be able to win, even short-handed and with two idiots on my team who literally could not go positive if their life depended on it against these people. And this is something that I think improves you as a player, to be able to step up and do different things, or step up more than you normally have to, or I would have to if I had been in a party, because I would have had more people and it wouldn't have been as difficult and I wouldn't have fought so hard. But regardless of how hard I fought, it was more satisfying because I fought harder for this win. And that's not to discredit parties versus parties per se, because this is very fun, but I think it is more satisfying when you win and you had a disadvantage. Like, overcoming the odds is basically, in short, what I'm saying. It's a little bit more satisfying, and I felt like I was a better player after this match. I mean, I'm not instantly better, but I did feel pretty happy when I did win this match, even if it was by like 1 point. I felt pretty good when I did beat this party, and I think that's something that you wouldn't get when you were playing in a full party. And I think if you want to improve as a player, like I said, you have to be flexible. You have to be able to do things. When you're playing with a bunch of randoms, you might have to carry more than you would if you were in a party. You might have to change up your playstyle a bit because X or Y people on your team aren't really doing what you're accustomed that is there to play with. You're going to have to just cope with what you have, and I think it definitely benefits you to, I don't know, try different things, keep an open mind in terms of your playstyle, and I think that'll definitely improve you as a player to not necessarily become super comfortable, because even when I do play in parties, I'm never super comfortable, because I feel like if I personally let myself get really comfortable, it's a detriment. I'm always on my toes. I'm always super cautious, I guess. I mean, I've played with randoms quite a bit. I've played with myself enough to kind of be jumpy, not fully depend on people. I mean, that being said, there are some people who I am very comfortable playing with, and I think that's good, and that makes like us as a group or a unit become more effective because we are more comfortable. But me as an individual player, I feel like I've found a balance between like people who I'm comfortable playing with, who I have some faith in, and at the same time never letting my guard down completely, because let's say someone on my team or like the randoms, like they really can't like control the power weapons, they can't really be aggressive. I'll do it because I mean I know it has to be done. For example, in a situation, in this match in particular, I am more aggressive. I try to go for the power weapons. I try to get more kills. I don't just lay back. I challenge, basically. I challenge this party a lot. I mean, even if I go like 1-1, I mean, it's better than like being negative or like barely getting enough kills and going like more positive. I mean, I just tried to get as many kills as I could, and obviously I was cautious about it. I didn't recklessly run out there and die, but this is about it for this commentary, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts and comments on like playing in a full party or just a party, and just playing by yourself or in a smaller party, because I mean, it's definitely varies from person to person, and sometimes you can't even play in a party because you don't have people to play with, and I just want to hear your thoughts on this subject matter, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.